Serena, can you tell us what you said to her at the net, and when did you notice that she was really upset and heartbroken?
You know, just as she was walking towards the net, I could tell that she was quite upset, and I kind of liked that. You know, it shows that she wasn't there just to play a good match. She was there to win, and she wasn't, you know, she wanted to win. So that was, you know, really broke my heart. You know, I think she has good talent, so it's good to see that attitude.
Serena, you said some pretty powerful things about Billie Jean King on the court after the match. Two things. One, what do you think the things are that are left for women's tennis to do to try to ensure greater parity and equality for women? Mm-hmm. And the second thing, do you see yourself increasingly taking a role in pressing for those things?
Yeah, well, we still are fighting for equal prize money in all events across the board, and I think that's something that we're going to continue to do and continue to fight for. And I feel like with my platform and the things that I do and the different boards that I sit on, we really talk about equality and gender equality and role equality and pay equality and how important that is, and bringing that into tennis as well is something that's super important. And the only way to do it is to talk about it and to be open about it and have these conversations that aren't necessarily comfortable. You know, as I always say, we have to have these uncomfortable conversations so we can start, you know, just fighting for having equality throughout.
Maria Sharapova on that point said the other day that she had never really felt much warmth from the men's side of things, and she was talking about kind of Andy Murray and how he's stood up for women. Do you think the ATP Tour guys could help the fight a lot more by being more vocal about equality, and how much will Murray kind of be missed on that point?
Yeah, I think Andy has been really vocal about, you know, everyone being treated equally. And like I said the other day, in order for change to really be made, men and women have to work together, and they have to have the same message, and they have to support each other. So as we can get as many people to support us, I mean, that's what it's going to take.
Serena, at the start of your pro career, did your teenage self ever cry after a loss on the court or at the net?
Teenage self or adult self?
Teenage self.
Okay, because both.
Were you ever in her? Did you ever find yourself having that kind of reaction like she did as a youngster? Yeah, absolutely. You know, you go out there and you want to win. I remember one time in particular against Venus at Wimbledon. As I was walking through the net, I started bawling, and I couldn't help it. But you know, we young girls, young women, just want to go out there and do the best and want to win. What Venus said to you then?
No, it was a really long time ago. Yeah.
Your opponent after the match said you kind of spoke to her in the changing room, and she was kind of saying that you had been criticising the umpire a little bit in there about a time violation point. I was just wondering if you could kind of clarify to us what
I was criticising what?
The umpire today about the kind of time violation.
I told her to, and I would look into it as well, because I mean, I don't know, but I thought that I didn't think she deserved the time violation. And I thought that the umpire has to wait until the crowd stops clapping before announcing the score. And I felt that, you know, just to keep the match going, he was announcing it really fast, which is fine, which is normal, but maybe she wasn't used to that. So I told her to definitely look into it until she knows going into the future what to expect. And so she knows the rules. And I think that's important for young players to know the rules so they can always be educated for that. And I told her I would look into it as well, and it's important for us to like have each other's back, you know, and to just support each other. I think that's so important, and that's it. I just wanted to clarify that with her.
Serena, you either get the world #1 or your sister in the next round. Do you go home and watch that match tonight? And how do you approach it if you're to play Venus again? Obviously, the opportunities for you two to meet at Grand Slam level are going to get fewer as the years go on.
Yeah, well, either way, it'll be a really intense match. I'm looking forward to it. There's nothing I can do. I did everything I did today, and just have to keep going.
There's a 17-year-old American who's made a big splash here. Do you know much about Amanda?
Yeah, I've been watching her game since last year. Actually, I feel like she did really well at Indian Wells, and that's kind of when I noticed her. And I'm really excited to see American, both men and women, really start to do really well, and to see this new generation of American players just make a loud splash and a loud noise. And it's good to see Amanda, like, she's so serious. I love it.
You're edging closer to Margaret Court's all-time Grand Slam record. Is that creeping in the back of your mind at all over the next
Well,
week?
I've been edging closer for probably like a decade now, so I'm just not even dealing with that right now.
If it is Venus that you play in the next round, how do you go about the matches these days? Do you talk in the build-up to games? I know you've played each other hundreds of times over the last 20-odd years, but how do you actually approach games if it is your sister?
Well, she's... we're really close, and she's even closer to Olympia. So she is like... She's more than an aunt, but she's not, you know, the mom, but she's like the stage after that. I don't know, like she's like so close to being there and with my daughter, and so we talk all the time. We spend a ton of time together. She always is like, well, gives me tips and stuff. So we'll definitely be talking, and we'll take it as it is, you know, and just take it one step at a time.
Is Halep, does this prove where your game is at? You've obviously been out of the game for a while. The world number one, does this prove how good Serena Williams will be if you have to face the world number one?
Yeah, and I honestly would love to face the world number one, but at the same time I would love for Venus to win. So I think either way, regardless, I'll be ready for either opponent. Yeah, it'll be great. I haven't played the world number one since I've been back, I don't think. So yeah, it'll be good.
Hi, Serena. Last year in Paris, I asked you about the Armenian influence in your life. And you said that you're planning to go there, first of all. And I was just wondering whether you've learned any new stuff about Armenia and that side, and whether it's going to happen.
I'm learning a little bit every day. Well, not every day, that's not true, but I'm learning a little bit as time goes on. Yesterday, Alexis was talking about how Armenians are and the culture, and how lots of are, you know, self-made, and a lot of business people, and they have this aspect. So it's fun. It's interesting. Like I said, I feel like I'm an honorary Armenian because of my husband and my daughter, and everyone I see that's Armenian like is super proud of me, and it's like, wow, this is kind of cool. But it's, you know, it's just it's really always good to learn new and different cultures.
Just on the equality thing again, there's a big men's team competition they're preparing for in January next year, and it's possible the Hopman Cup might get kind of swallowed up or ended because of that. Is that kind of a bit of another symptom that maybe the priorities are a little bit skewed?
I'm going to apologize. I should know about this, but I don't know enough about this to comment on it. I've heard a lot about it, but I don't really know the details of it. So,
Serena, your progress is obvious. Do you already feel on top of in your game, or does your break affect your game in any way? That's your break, the break.
Oh, the break, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't played a lot since New York, but it is what it is, and I'm here, and I'm trained in the off season, and, you know, at this point I'm here. I'm here to play tennis and do what I do best, and I play tennis best, so that's what I'm here to do.
You feel on top of your game again? Compared to
I feel
years
like
ago?
I'm getting there. I feel like I don't feel like I'm there yet. I feel like I'm still getting there.
Serena, do you think in a kind of counterintuitive way that missing over a year to have your daughter has kept you in the game? Like, do you think you'd still be playing right in here, right now, otherwise?
It's very hard to say, but I feel like a part of that is absolutely true, that the time off gave me a new fire, gave me a new purpose and a new meaning, and but again, it is kind of hard to say.